Hey, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. We got a good one tonight. Iowa, NC State. Couple of Packers in the booth. Lemon Pepper. Brusso, take it away.
All right. We are in Raleigh. 49er George against JT Gaming. It's going to be a good one. I am excited. We've been sitting here. I'm not even sure who's kicking off.
We got some rainy conditions tonight, Lou. Will the forward pass be a big factor tonight? I'm not so sure.
Well, you never know. It's one of those things where maybe you get warmed up and it works, or maybe you stumble and it doesn't really get going. I was going to kick off to NC State here. Big sailing kick out of the end zone. They'll start at the 25.
Well, here comes this interesting, kind of a little bit more explosive and dynamic NC State offense. The team's gotten a little bit older, everything like that. Huevos Grandes is a senior quarterback now. We'll see what the
Mm-hmm.
Wolfpack got right here to start it off.
Grande's under center. Hand off to Allen. Going to take a big cut to the left, pick up 3 yards. Didn't see anything to the right. Reversed course.
No, I mean, good job by the Iowa front, kind of converging in the A and B gaps, forcing Allen, the athletic player, to bounce it. Still got 3 yards, but if you're Iowa, you'll take that on the first play of the game.
Yeah, Wolfpack looking to start out on the ground and just assert dominance. I expect to see lots of pounding. Allen again off the right tackle. Big gain. 18 yards and a first down.
Yep, you saw Iowa go to a little bit of a bear front right there, meaning that all 3 interior defensive linemen were lined up on the interior 3 of the offensive line. When you do that, and if your backers aren't good at setting your edge, there can be some holes that open up on the perimeter, and that's what you saw right there. Nice seated D gap run for 18 yards.
Yeah, and the Wolfpack, they've got some guys that like getting themselves right in those holes and taking advantage. So out of the shotgun, Huevos is going to give to Allen on the counter play, and he's going to be gobbled up after 2 yards.
And the one thing about this Iowa defense that's kind of been a staple in their program is always having corners that can shed blocks and make really good tackles in space. And you saw that right there. They rallied to the ball pretty well, and they limited the counter from turning into a big play.
Yeah, nice play right near midfield, 2nd and 8. Going to give to Allen up the middle, and he's going to be stopped after 2 yards. Another nice play by the defense.
Yep. You saw the backside inside linebacker there, didn't even get touched. The center and left guard couldn't work the double team up to him. So, he pretty much had a scot-free A gap to run through, and it's third medium here.
Yeah, as we get into Iowa territory for the first time, 3rd and 6. Shotgun 4 wide. Grande's taking his time, maybe adjusting some of his routes. He's going to dump it to Penis, and Penis is going to run over the man, get the first down, 8-yard gain.
Yeah, I think if you guys have been watching the NWO the last year and a half or so, you know about the problems that a big penis can put on opposing defenses, and you saw it right there. Iowa's in position, but it's tough.
And after that off-season training, Big Penis is swole. So under center, Grande, Allen's a single back, 2 tights, receivers on either side. Going to be a give to Allen up the middle again. Gain of a yard.
Condensed set for both units right there. But once again, that weak side inside linebacker, nobody's gonna get to him so far here in the early parts of this game. That offensive line for NC State's got to communicate a little bit better. Otherwise, that guy's gonna be making a lot more plays at or near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and if offensive line has been, maybe a concern for this NC State team. They certainly are recruiting heavily. I think they've got a few linemen visiting tonight here, so They're wanting to put on a little bit of a show. Fullback in the backfield to the strong right. Rondes is going to take a 3-step and give it to Lassane. Pick up 13 yards on the out route.
Yep, we saw a little bit of off coverage there. A lot of, Grandes was checked out of a couple plays, it seemed like. And pretty much we call it in football, take the gift and pitch and catch for a first down.
Absolutely. Allen again on a carry off right tackle. He has some open space, and he's going to find his way to the end zone. Hawkeyes couldn't keep up on that play.
Yep. And say Coach George went back to that outside run game. Big penis led, kicked out the end man that was spinning down in the box, and Allen just pretty much, he could have almost walked into the end zone from there. Great play design by the Wolfpack.
Yeah, meet me at La Vix sends the extra point through, and we are 7-0 here in Raleigh. Ball's fielded in the back of the end zone, but no return is offered. Iowa will take over at their 25.
All right. An athletic NC State defense versus a ground and pound, methodical approach in the Hawkeye offense. It should be an interesting, interesting matchup for these two units on the field.
Yeah, JT always seems to have something cooked up for us. You see a little screen to the halfback right away, and LaShawn Williams is going to lose a yard.
Trying to use some motion, some misdirection to try to confuse the NC State defenders, but early in the game, I like the play call. Just the execution part of it and the awareness by the interior defensive lineman there negates it to a 1-yard loss.
Drop back. He's going to roll, take off on his feet. This was the wild Hawkeye. That's Niall Kinnick, number 24.
Yeah, got to get your athletes out in space, especially when you may not have the most talented roster on the field. You got to kind of design some stuff for them to make some plays, and so far, Coach JT is doing that.
Yeah, Kinnick again is going to give to Williams. No gain on the play.
That's Drake Thomas stepping up again. Maybe not the fastest running back in the world in Williams, and trying to get to the edge with the speed of this NC State defense. That's going to be tough today, Luke.
Yeah, I think so. From this full house shotgun, it's going to be a give to the back. It's Caden Wetjen. He's going to pick up 9 yards. We'll see a lot of this option and misdirection type stuff. North Carolina's going to have to play sound assignment football, I would believe.
Yeah, you have to against the option style. Great triple option design right there.
Kinnick in the backfield with all his buddies, fakes the handoff, fakes the dropback, rolls to his left, and he has some wide open space. And Harper is going to be there for the tackle about the 33-yard line. 1st and 10, Iowa.
Yeah, nice play action design there, getting everybody rolling, everybody going to the right. When you got an athlete like that in Kinnick, I mean, you give him some open space, he's going to take it.
All right, so Labus back in the pistol here. And Harper just gobbles that pass up, interception, and he is on the return. Neck roll in full force. He brings back to about the 50-yard line.
James Harper. See, for those of you who don't know, that was the 6'4" corner receiver hybrid that both 49er George and I were going after, and that long frame makes its presence known early for the freshman.
Yeah, true freshman. I think that's a name we're going to be hearing a lot more in the future.
Begrudgingly, I agree with you.
Great play. Gives the offense good field position here, starting on their own 49.
Now, if you're NC State, do you just keep trying to get to the perimeter run game and maybe some play action? If you're Iowa, do you have what adjustments are you going to make? Are you going to maybe kind of protect the edges a little bit more, and maybe be a little more susceptible up front? We'll have to see what goes on here on this next drive.
Yeah, I think Iowa's got to keep playing their disciplined game. If you're NC State, you're probably just trying to establish more of your scheme and try to get some guys warmed up. Give us to Allen, left side. He cuts it back in toward the middle. He's going to gain 4 yards.
Simple power play right there. You got 2 tight ends and a fullback in the backfield. You pull the guard, you lead with the fullback. It's a beautiful thing when ran well. And even when Iowa swarmed to the ball, you still get a 4-yard gain out of it. So you'll take that if you're NC State.
Yes. Too many people get discouraged by a 4-yard gain. That's a nice chunk on first down. You do that again, it's 3rd and 2.
Exactly. Keeps the entirety of your playbook open.
Mm-hmm. Tight right, give this to Allen. Makes a nice move trying to get around the corner and is able to pick up a yard.
I'm gonna say I don't think they count half yards in that game in this game, but I think that's about all he got. 3rd and 6 here. This would be a good stop for the Iowa defense if they can get the pack off the field here. But you kind of have to get a stop here to kind of slow down their momentum.
Yeah, the Wolfpack looking to take over the momentum and get rolling good here. Grande's from the shotgun's got Allen and Penis alongside him. Throws to Gray, has him gain of about 15 yards, first down.
Yeah, you saw the little bit change of a kind of hot routed it at the line of scrimmage. Instead of going across the field like he probably was going to, he just sat down. Well, Grande's just pitched him the ball. Easy first down. Good throw. Good decision.
Back up on the line, inside a minute here in this first quarter. Give us to Allen, left side. Gain of 2 yards.
Just continuing to pound the ball. We always talk, if you guys ever watch boxing, you always hear about the body shots early and often, right? And that's what I kind of think what NC State's trying to do here, trying to soften up this Iowa front for maybe later in the game when these 2-yard runs start breaking into 6 to 7 to 8-yard runs.
Yeah, just, probing, looking for weaknesses here. Allen to the right side. Swarm is there. Stopped for no gain this time.
Yeah, tried to go back to the wheel well. I think one too many times probably with the outside run game, but it had worked so well. We're at the end of the first quarter already, Lou. My goodness.
Yeah, we're going to watch these teams take a walk to the other side, grab their water. Kind of an exciting, low-scoring first quarter. Move the ball. There's been a turnover. Iowa's looked interesting on defense. They've shown up on a lot of plays.
Yeah, they're going to have to show up here on this 3rd and 8, though. Let's see what happens.
Big conversion for both teams here. Grande's from the gun. Has it. Allen out of the backfield, and he's going to go for 11 yards in the first down.
Yep. You saw a little bit of a softer zone coverage there by the Iowa defense, and usually when that soft zone opens up, usually something late or something delayed up the middle is going to probably come open, and right there, Grande's literally, Grande's making some smart decisions, throwing guys pretty much open,
yeah, and
and first down.
I think that's probably a good play by the Iowa defense covering downfield, and it's probably a good read by North Carolina to hit the open man late, the check down. Allen's going to carry this to the right side for a gain of 1 yard.
Yep, trying to do the two tight end set, trying to get to the perimeter in the stretch game. Iowa, I think, is going to dare. They are not going to let NC State really run the ball too much the rest of this game. They're going to dare them to throw the ball.
Yeah, they're going to probably have to try to take away something, right? And this is going to have to be the run. Grande drops back to pass. He has Cockhammer. That's going to be a gain of 15 down inside the 5.
That was a really good ball placement there by Grandes. He saw that Cockhammer was supposed to be, I believe it was on a corner route, but he threw it on the inside shoulder, which kept the ball away from the defense. Very smart decision.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure if it matters where exactly you throw it to Cockhammer because the defense is going to get out of the way. Allen to the left side, and he's going to run and just skip out of bounds short of the pylon.
I think Allen got a little bit too excited about trying to get his second touchdown of the first half, but
yeah, I'm not sure if he got caught in it. Maybe he got caught in an animation and didn't get upfield, or if he was just showing off for the cameras. Either way, Big Penis gets the touchdown. Maybe that's what it's all about, right?
Yep.
Just a little bit of fullback love.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little fullback love, You got to show them that you care about them and that you appreciate their hard work, because us fullbacks don't get a lot of credit.
Yeah, I can't really tell. He's been sweating a little bit today. Kick is up and good. 14-0 North Carolina here.
Just say now, if you're Iowa, it's only a 2-score game. You got to kind of settle in. You've been able to move the ball effectively.
Yep, taking it out of the end zone. Nice cut. Has some open field. Makes another man miss. He's going to be all by himself. One man to beat here. Little wiggle. Breaks a tackle. Gets caught up, tripped up around the 5. Caden Wetchen with a 103-yard return.
Man, we see the broken tackle juice has made its way over to the Iowa sidelines. My goodness.
Yeah. I mean, it took a quarter, but JT got his Cronus working.
All right. Hey, I mean, it always helps when special teams can kind of be that equalizer in games like this. So,
okay, Maryland, looking heavy. Hand it off to Williams. Going to be a dive up the middle. Going to pick up 4 yards. That's got to be down near the 1.
Yep. Kind of hard to stop ISO like that when you have 2 lead blockers and 3 offensive linemen in the near vicinity.
Right back on the line. Let's do it again. And same result, except we're closer, so it is a touchdown. Iowa strikes quickly. Great answer.
Yeah, that's a huge answer. Momentum now. Pressure goes back to NC State now because, I believe NC State got the ball to start the half, Lou, if I'm correct. So if you're Iowa here, if you can kind of make NC State maybe not have points put on the board here for how tough things have gone so far, you could potentially be going into the half tied here.
Yeah, big swing of momentum. It's looking very bright if you're Iowa here. Your defense has kind of been picking up some steam, so you think maybe they're hot and we're due for our stop. So if you're NC State, I guess you got to buckle down and just deliver on this drive.
Yeah. Well, we got Lions then coming in with the raid. Greatly appreciate that. Hopefully your stream and everything was all good. We got some NWO user versus user online action right now here at the NWO League. So let's see what we got going on.
Yeah, Huevos Rondes under center, strong right, 2 wides to the left. Dropping back to pass. He's going to roll out to his right. Stops, throws deep down the right side, has Penis. Penis makes a man miss, spinning and tackle just inside the 20.
Mama, there goes that man again. The Penis is on the loose. Big play there on the wheel route. And the thing is, people kind of forget how athletic that man playing fullback actually is. The dude can move. He has great hands, and can pick up a lot of big gains in a hurry.
I mean, as far as yardage goes, he was the number 3 receiver in the country last season. Give us to Allen left side. He's going to make a man miss. Beautiful spin play. He'd be tackled after a gain of 8 yards.
Great
Nice
spin
little-
move. I mean, they're trying to hit the perimeter. NC State's really trying to get to the perimeter against this Iowa front, and Allen, they've been pursuing to the ball very well, but an athletic move by Allen right there.
Yeah, real well-timed spin. Nearly sprung him. It was short of an ankle tackle. Grandes drops back, has Cockhammer early, and Cockhammer makes a nice cut, gets into the end zone for 12-yard touchdown.
That was a pretty tight-knit throw there by Grandes, but hey, he's called Huevos Grandes for a reason. Not afraid to make the difficult throws. Quick timing run on the slant. Cockhammer walks in for a touchdown.
And only about a minute off the clock in that drive. North Carolina State answering very quickly.
I mean, if you're Iowa, you're literally in the same position you were just in a minute ago, right? You've got to be calm, kind of take your time here. I mean, or just score special teams touchdowns. Who knows?
And Caden Wetchen brought down near the 17. Tried to make a nice cut. Was a good tackle by the special teams there.
More wild Hawkeye, huh?
Yeah, got a different quarterback here. This is number 4, Williams, receiving the snap.
There's that man, Drake Thomas again. Thomas was not fooled. Maybe a little bit of input lag there by Coach JT. He looked like he was trying to run the counter off that. And for some reason, Williams went vertical instead of taking it really to the C gap. But nonetheless, no gain on the play.
Well, Hinnick running the show this time. And not much doing on the option. He keeps it himself. Brings up third and 11.
Made there by the NC State front. Being a little bit more patient. Great user play right there to get on the defensive lineman and kind of take both away for a split second. And you face Iowa to do something they really don't like to do, Lou. Almost be forced to throw the ball here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, so we've got Levis from the pistol here. 4 wide receivers. Going to roll to his right, come back into the pocket. Buying time with his feet. Now he's going to throw. And that ball skips short. Going to bring up 4th and 11.
Just trying to find a hole in the zone. Trying to find somebody that can get open late. Scrambling around, razzle-dazzle football. And it just, not a bad
unable to
decision
make anything
here,
do.
but- Uh-oh. There goes James Harper back there. I'm out here. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe JT didn't have enough time to do the directional punt the way you want, or you got to lock in the Cronus if you want to get that 98-yard punt. Skips out at the half-yard line.
We potentially... I was going to say, there's no way he goes for this at this point, right?
I think it was just Harper was going right where he was lined up. And Harper nearly chases it down. But wisely downed it inside the 20, it looks like, at the 17-yard line. So Iowa able to flip the field. And that was a lot of gamesmanship there. I think each coach has played each other enough to know what they wanted to do there. And
Right. His
Harper
SJ line coach
almost
says in
got back
chat.
there to return that.
Yeah, right. And it's a SJ line coach in chat says maybe he had the fake on, didn't like the look. Who knows? Yeah. The first down for the Wolfpack.
Allen on the toss. Nothing doing there. The Hawkeyes swarming. That left side of their defense is been showing up the last few series.
You know, how we talked about earlier about setting the edge. Well, that's one way to do it with Cooper DeJean right there. Took on the pulling, took on the lead blocker right there and stonewalled it and made the play. That's a hell of a job there by the Iowa defense.
One of JT's star pupils. A few he's really been excited about. Eos Grande is from the gun here. Give this to Allen. He's going to bump him before he gets to the line. Allen's going to pick up 2 yards. 3rd and 10 coming up.
You know, maybe trying to catch Iowa off guard there a little bit. You know, trying to run, a 2nd and long play, maybe get to 3rd and medium, but Iowa swarms to it again. And now 3rd and long for the Wolfpack. Big play here for the Iowa defense so they can get off the field.
Yeah, we're approaching 2 minutes here, so this could be the final possession of the half, or Iowa could get another quick one back. Might be Grande's just going to throw deep. He thought he had Penis. It's going to fall incomplete. Good coverage, I guess.
Yeah, the Iowa defense took away the vertical routes there, and the defender who was covering the vertical route then popped on the wheel route and forced an incomplete pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little too lubed up to catch that one. Punt is muffed, picked up by one of the other backs. And brought down after a short return. No shortage of crazy plays here.
No, and maybe the element's starting to take a little bit of effect. I think the rain's starting to come down a little bit harder than when we had this game started, Lou. But nonetheless, you're Iowa. You have the ball, potentially the last possession of the half. What are we going to see out of this Iowa offense? Let's take a look.
Labus drops back, throws downfield, has his man. It's going to be a gain of 12 yards, but there is a flag.
Illegal man downfield. Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away.
Yeah, right guard thought it was a run play.
Oh, little bit of sportsmanship there. The penalties declined. Okay. Interesting. A lot of mutual respect here between the two coaches.
Yeah, maybe the rain is letting up a little bit. Grande is from the gun, 4 wide. Allen in backfield with him. Rolling to his right, hit as he throws all the way down, has Edwards, and Edwards is going to be brought down at the 1 yard line.
What a throw and catch. I mean, Huelos Grande's living up to his name right now. That ball probably should not have been thrown, but, just his guy was down there. He's going to give him a chance to make a play, and made a play, and it's 1st and goal for the Wolfpack.
A major trust in his receivers. Give his to Penis on the dive, and no doubt, touchdown Wolfpack.
It could be hard to stop the big penis when he's basically on the fringe. So
yeah, he's all warmed up, worked up, lathered up. I mean, I don't really want to be on the other side of the ball in the second half. So Lavix kicks off here, 90 seconds to go in this first half. Kick is returned. Wetchen brings it out to about the 18.
Well, what do you think here, Lou? If you're Iowa,
I mean, I think you want to make this the last possession of the half, whether you score or not. Takes a shot downfield. Aiden White nearly intercepts it. Good play by the Wolfpack defender.
yeah, that is a high awareness, high play rec player right there. Playing the deep zone. Saw two verticals, kind of played almost both of them, kind of divider principle IRL, and just made a beeline on the ball. 2nd and 10.
So 5 wide. Labus has plenty of time. Looks like we dropped 11 back into coverage. And there is nowhere to throw it. This might be a standoff. No, he throws it, and it is nearly intercepted.
Oh, the old drop 11, Lou. You don't see that too often, but I think Coach 49er George understands the situations here, understands that, a run's probably not in the cards for Iowa, and why not make, especially if you're going to play zone coverage, why not make that throw hard for Coach JT?
5 wide again. Labus dropping back. Going to take off on his feet. Has a first down. Going to dip out of bounds. About the 33-yard line.
Athletic player making athletic plays in space. Critical situation there if you're Iowa. You don't want this game to potentially run away from you early, and at least it gives you a chance to continue the drive and try to put points on the board before half.
Absolutely. Again, with 5 wide receivers here. Labus mixing it up. Drops back. Again, lots of time. One rush. Has a man down the sideline. Very nice catch. Going to be down near the 15-yard line. There is a flag.
Legal touching. Oh, no.
Oh, that man ran out of bounds.
Yeah, that one, I mean, illegal touching. That one is that one is
Yeah, that is a
that's a
no-no.
tough one.
Brings up 2nd and 15. Five wide again. Labus has some time. Only one rusher. A little bit of pressure as he throws, and has Caden Wetjen gain of 41 yards.
Just seeing Iowa just sling the ball going empty. This isn't the Hawkeye offense we know and love here. But hey, Coach JT's making it work.
Yeah, Labus getting his confidence, has some time in the pocket to throw, and just takes off with his feet this time. Another flag.
It might have been a late hit there, and it is. Roughing the passer.
Okay, 1st and 10 now from the 16. 36 seconds remaining in this second quarter.
Two timeouts.
Lots of time has Labus as he rolls to his left, throwing toward the end zone, and good defense. Drake Thomas jumps up, nearly picks that off.
Drake Thomas has been all over the field here in the first half. Coach 49er George might have a conversation with old Drake, even though he's a great player for him. Son, he can pull him aside. Son, we really need you to catch the football in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Goes out this half right here. So Kinnick from the Wild Eye has a man. That's Jazoon Patterson. Jazoon.
Uh-oh.
Get a timeout from North Carolina State.
Yeah, I think the Wolfpack needs some oxygen. They need some Gatorade. They need whatever they can to just catch their breath. Because this Hawkeye offense is going at a lightning pace.
Yeah, a lot they've thrown at us here. Again with the Maryland Eye now.
Some checks at the line.
Ops to the left. Williams gains a yard. Clock continues to tick. 2nd and goal. Right back on the line here. Snapped with about 10 seconds to go, and Williams is going to run it in 3 yards for the touchdown.
Going hurry up out of the Maryland eye. I mean, we see something new each and every day here in the NWO. Great job, Iowa, going down the field and getting a critical touchdown in this game before half, and getting the ball to start the second half in this scenario is a huge advantage for them. If they can go down the field, stop NC State in the last 8 seconds, though, Luke, because we know this league. 8 seconds is an eternity, especially with 2 timeouts.
Absolutely. Here's the kick. Lassaine's a dynamic return man here. Brings it out of the end zone, makes his cut to the outside, and is brought down near the 35. Really was only, one and a half guys away from breaking up to the house.
I say he's about a block away, Luke, from making this a 35-14 game. But they're going to have one chance here. Got one play. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, 3 seconds. Huevos Grandes under center. A strong I formation. Fakes the handoff to Allen, rolling to his right. Sets up and throws downfield, has his penis in mind. And that ball is going to be knocked down, and that's how we will go to halftime.
My goodness. Dude's got a cannon.
Yeah, he launched that. That was a beautiful rainbow on this rainy day. I don't even see the sun.
All right.
28-14.
Let's take a look at the halftime stats here.
Let me take a peek, maybe see what the time of possession looked like here.
Wow.
We see total offense is heavily favoring NC State. 68 yards on the ground, 63 passing for Iowa. Those 2 turnovers have really cost them.
Yeah, just from looking at it, Lou, from my perspective being, using my coaching just points, whatever you ever want to call it. I think there's 2 main things. Like you said, the turnovers are number 1, but also you look at the passing, you look at the completion percentage. You look how it's 8 for 10 for NC State, but only 4 for 10 for Iowa. And those 4 completions are pretty much had to be fit down the field, kind of on a, second chance or whatever you want to call it. NC State's played really well defensively. It's kind of hard to stop the Maryland eye. When you go 32 personnel, it's going to be hard to stop. But I think overall for NC State, they're kind of trying to they're limiting the big plays minus, the throws late in the first half. But, if you're Iowa, you got some momentum. You showed a couple of wrinkles out of the wild hawk, wildcat, whatever you want to call it. Started to throw the ball a little bit out of it. Can't be so predictable. So we'll see what happens in the second half. It should be an interesting one.
Yeah, we're still working on a name for that offense. You can probably vote in chat. Wet Jen is going to return this from about 9 yards deep. Cutting to the left, has a block and lots of space. Going to be across the 50 with 1 man to beat. Cuts it back in, and he is stopped at the 40.
Man, Wet Jen's got some wheels on him. Great blocking too by the Iowa special teams. Saw a couple Wolfpack were on the ground, and look at this. I mean, down 2 touchdowns, but look, plus field position to start the half. Got the momentum rolling. This game might be a little bit tighter than people think.
Yeah, these Hawkeyes have an idea of what they want to do here. Play fake. Levis is buying time in the pocket, now running up. Makes a couple of guys miss and picks up 9 yards. Nice little scramble by Levis.
Absolutely. I mean, you saw how there was a nice play action there. There was a crosser. There's a crosser by the backside tight end, and then you saw the little bit of a screen, maybe a wheel going on, but great second effort by Levis to get 9.
Out and back hits the back. Williams out of the backfield. Little stop action cheese doesn't do him anything, but he does pick up the first down on the 18-yard line.
Absolutely. You see NC State starting to go a little bit of a softer zone, kind of nobody playing near the line of scrimmage. And when you have that like that, if you throw a swing pass to the back, you make a couple moves, you're going to get some yards, and that's what happened right there.
Herky likes it on the sideline over there. Man comes in motion across the formation. Wags back. Levis is going to give to Williams. Nice run. Picks up about 7.
Using a little pre-snap motion to determine whether or not it's man or zone. Sometimes the game will carry in zone coverage, which to me IRL rips my damn hair out. What little is left. But
I mean, that's probably one of those really low awareness guys on defense that just thinks he's in man and follows the guy, right?
yeah, probably.
When it's actually good to be bad. Okay, Williams in motion out of the backfield here. Levis has some time. Nothing's open. He's going to take off. Has the first down, and it's going to be stopped near the 5. First and goal.
Hey, NC State's playing some zone defense now, making those throws have to kind of be timed up really, really closely with the receiver's routes if you don't want to make a mistake down here in the red zone. But Levis just kind of doing it with his legs.
Yeah, lots of blocking out of the eye, and Williams has his way up the middle.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? The Maryland eye. I mean, NC State really doesn't have an answer right now for the Maryland eye when they go ISO like that. The backside A gap's been wide open.
Yeah, and give Iowa credit for executing their game plan. They were able to score to close out the first half and able to score to open up the second. So right back in this ball game, 28-21.
Right. And kind of add that third factor in this game we talked about, the completion percentage, the turnovers, and now the special teams have really started to favor Iowa. So if you're Iowa here, you're either one punt away or one turnover away from making this game tied.
Yeah, so again, it's another kind of critical drive if you're NC State here. You want to reestablish dominance. Grande's from the shotgun. He's going to roll to his right. Throwing down. Penis is in the area, but unable to get a beat on the ball.
An almost interception there. That would have been what we call a great arm punt if that would have been intercepted right there, because no chance for a return. But at the end of the day, it's still just an incomplete pass in 2nd and 10.
Allen gets the handoff off the right side. He has enough for a first down already. Makes a man miss. He's going to pick up about 17 or 18 there.
Going back to what worked in the first half, right? Especially in the first quarter, you saw a lot of the outside run game work well for NC State, and they went back to it there, kind of on a 2nd down play to keep them off their toes, and picked up a big play.
Formation gets flipped here. Strong left. Going to be a give to Allen. Defensive end is there. Gets him in the backfield.
Yeah, what we've been talking about, trying to get to the perimeter against this Iowa front, but one time it'll work, and then Coach JT is very good at making defensive adjustments, and if you try to go back to it right away, you're probably not going to be very successful. And great play there by the Iowa defense.
Wrong eye fakes to Penis, rolling out to his right. Grande sets up, buys a little bit of time and has to throw it away as the rush comes in late from the defender.
Well, nobody bet on the play action, right? And you saw the safety lurking underneath the corner route, which is usually commonplace to throw it on that play. But if you're Iowa, this initial possession after making it a 1 point or a 1 possession game, you can't really ask for any more right now. A 3rd and long for NC State. You get home, got a chance to get the ball back right away.
Absolutely. Grande's under center. Rolling to his right now. He is just going to take this on his feet. Ball is out. Iowa picks it up.
Oh my goodness, folks. We just, I'm not going to toot my own horn or anything, but we said, punt or a turnover, and this game's going to be pretty much wide open again. Huevos Grandes try to make a play, got a little overzealous, fumbled the ball, and here are the Hawkeyes with a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, right back to the Maryland Eye. They are going to be throwing a screen pass out to Williams here, and that's going to be brought down for a loss of 2.
Trying to disguise what you're doing out of the Maryland Eye. I like the opportunity to potentially catch them off guard, but the NC State defense was there and ready, so maybe Labus has to kind of carry the team like he has in the first half, in the first 2.5 quarters of this game. Get 2nd and long.
So now 3 wide, receiver came in motion. Going to be another screen pass. Williams gets it, picks up about 6. Going to bring up 3rd and 6.
Hey, make it 3rd and manageable, right? 3rd and 6 is better than 3rd and 12. So using the screen pass, trying to use a little bit of misdirection again, a little bit more successful than the first one, right? So if you're Iowa, you're happy with it. If you're NC State, you limited the damage, you give yourself a chance.
So Davis with 5 wides, he's going to roll to his right, and that ball's going to be swatted down, bring up 4th and 6.
The awareness by the defensive tackle dropping in coverage and knocking the ball down. Interesting. And with the way this game has been flowing momentum wise, you'd expect Coach JT to go for it, especially at midfield, right? It's 4th and 6. It's a manageable down. If you can get a play call that can just get to the sticks, maybe take a home run shot, who knows? But do not blame Coach for going after this one right here.
He takes his shot, and the defender is there to knock down the pass.
Turnover on downs. I like the play call. A good, running a empty set like that and going to what's called a stick concept. If that inside guy can break outside really quick, you can get the ball out even in man coverage. But that was lockdown coverage by the NC State defense right there.
So NC State takes over. It's going to be a run with Allen, and he's going to have a first down, maybe a little more. Showing off some strength as he just stiff arms a defender. Big gain.
See a little bit of that short motion there by Big Penis to get an extra blocker there to the to the wide side of the field, and it really paid off for Coach 49er. Using a little bit of IRL San Francisco 49er action there with a little short motion. I see you, George.
Yeah, short motion followed by like a 30-yard run, right?
Exactly. It's amazing when you get an extra blocker out in space. Those gaps become a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm. Allen going to take the handoff again out to the right side, making that defender miss. He was on his heels the whole way. He's going to be brought down inside the 5 here.
It's turning into a trap meet on the perimeter.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Allen is just athletic enough to evade the Iowa defenders, at least in first initial efforts. And 1st and goal here for the Wolfpack. We'll see. If you're Iowa, You would love to potentially hold them to a field goal attempt here, maybe even a fourth down attempt, but you got to kind of hunker down here if you're the Hawkeyes.
So Penis gets the handoff. He is spinning and brought down after a gain of a couple.
Dare we say looking like a helicopter down there, but that's for another day. Yeah, good counterplay right there. Just using the athletic running back, fullback, I should say. My bad. Wow.
Oh, he's
Makes
an
it-
offensive weapon.
Pretty much. That's probably the best way to put it.
Handoff to Allen, left side. Dives forward for a short gain. It's going to bring up third down and goal.
I mean, if I'm coach 49er here, you got 2 downs. Maybe try to get to the perimeter here, especially with how condensed the inside's been. But it's 3rd and goal. This is a huge. I mean, we've been saying it. Big downs. There's a lot. It seems like there's a ton of big plays in this game, Blue.
Yeah, it's really been a tight one. That ball's batted away at the line.
The old low trajectory swatted at the line of scrimmage deal. You hate to see it. Interesting decision right here. If you are 49er George, I would expect him to go for it. I expect him to be hyper aggressive, especially if you don't get it. Iowa's got to go 98 yards the other way to tie it up. So it looks like the NC State offense is going to come out on the field, Lou.
Got a power right. The give is going to be to Allen, and he is going to walk his way in.
Credit
Well blocked
the
up front.
NC State offensive line right there. Oops, sorry about that, Lou.
No, that's all I was going to say. Is just well blocked up front. There's, that's on the line. Great job.
That's got to sting a little bit if you're Coach JT and the Hawkeyes. You had him an opportunity to potentially get the ball back. So, hey, we've been telling you, trying to play catch up a little bit. Maybe your special teams can help you out, get another short field, maybe get it back to a 1-possession game. Then you're back in the same scenario you were just in. So, we'll see what goes on.
Yeah, most important thing is I think I hear the crowd coming back after that interception. But Wetjen is bringing this one back past the 40, 50, and across the other 40. So he's here to try to silence that crowd as quickly as he can.
Yeah, he's, short fields, man. You saw it. You saw it in my game against Cincy Bowen last week. We were to go to the whole length of the field most times. Well, he was sitting there, in better field position, and that's kind of what's showing here. I was staying in this game because of their special team play.
Yeah, Levis with time to pass has the back out of the backfield, and that ball is just. I'm pretty sure it was caught, but the linebacker just knocked it right the hell out of there.
We might need the athletic trainer to the Hawkeye bench, please. Player may not be doing too hot right there.
Yeah, bring the smelling salts. Levis throwing again. Has his man. It's going to be a first down.
Great decision, great timing, great throw, great catch. First down.
Yeah, nice decisions from Levis on his passes. Not biting off more than he can chew and just taking a shot now to the end zone. He has his man. And that's Bruce for the touchdown.
Wow. You see how the NC State defense, there was 2 guys pretty much holding hands right there. We have somebody trying to play over the top and somebody trying to play man coverage on him at the same time. A little bit of miscommunication there in the NC State secondary. I mean, you can see the defensive coordinator for NC State not looking too happy, and Coach 49er George is giving him a scowl saying, figure your shit out. So, hey, 1-possession game again.
Yeah, no shortage of excitement. Nearing the end of this third quarter. Wolfpack will take over on their 25. They're coming out in this strong eye again. Give this to Allen. I was there to stop him. Loss of 2 yards.
I think Iowa has finally decided, you know what? If they come out in that strong eye, if they run it weak side, so be it. But they are not going to run it to the strong side. And great swarm there. Loss of 2, 2nd and long.
Grande's throwing has Lassane.
A little bit of off coverage. Had 2 receivers in the area, so either way, the ball is probably going to get caught by one of the Wolfpack. And Lassane kind of gets the curl like he did earlier in the first half, and pitch and catch. And I believe it's the end of the third quarter, Lou.
Yeah, put your 4s up. It has been an exciting one here. NC State looking to go down the field and just keep this out of reach. Iowa has been scraping and clawing and picking and doing everything they can just to stay relevant in this ball game and doing a very fine job. Huevos Grandes, all the support in the backfield. He's going to roll to his right, taking it on his feet, picking up 3 yards.
Grande's trusting his legs there when nothing was open. He's got to be careful though. Coach George might be signaling for him to slide in certain situations, but that was very tight knit space. But you're kind of, does that fumble earlier in the game kind of creep into the back of your head when moments like this happen?
Yeah, it's something you certainly want to be mindful of is ball security in these situations. Give us to Allen up the middle. He'll pick up 4. But yeah, you certainly want to be sliding, at opportune moments.
Absolutely. Once again, a little short motion, kind of cut it up vertically instead of following the blockers, and it's 3rd and short.
The movement up front from the defensive line, trying to bluff one way or the other, it looks like. Grande's not fooled, has Lassane, and Lassane is going to be off to the races here. And nobody in that Iowa defensive backfield is going to catch him. NC State scores a touchdown. It's 41-42 after this extra point.
Yep, going back, taking the gift. He saw, Grande saw some off coverage there, threw an amazing timing route with the curl. Lassane made a little shimmy shake, got vertical, and nobody was going to catch him. It's back to a 2-possession lead.
Kick just into the end zone. Wetjen takes it out, and he's going to bring it out to the 34. Oh, I'm sorry, the 29.
It's okay. It's getting a little swampy out here a little bit. Numbers are starting to fade a little bit. Grass is starting to get a little bit dirty. We'll see. See if this Iowa. You might have to score fast here, Lou.
Yeah, a little trickery. That's number 7. Oh, number 2. It is getting wet out there. Let's get the eyes checked. Yeah, we have seen Iowa score quickly here in this ball game. Lead us out of the pistol, making some adjustments. Now dropping back to pass, and he is going to be brought down.
Ooh.
Good rush by the defense.
All right. Oh, looks like we got the camera back. All right, 3rd and 12. I mean, that's tough. He saw a quick pass rush off the Seattle concept that Iowa was trying to run, and 4 down territory, Lou. I'm assuming that'll be the case.
Yeah, I would think we're in 4-down territory from here on out. Davis is going to buy some time on his feet, picking up the 1st down after a fancy roll to his left. Up almost to midfield.
Almost to midfield. Athletic player. I mean, Labus is pretty much when they've really been needing a play, he's made it for them pretty much with his feet, and Iowa stays alive.
Yeah, Labus sails that one. Wetjen, the
Throws it
intended
into
target.
the 3rd row.
Mm-hmm. Some lucky NC State fan goes home with a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 wide receivers. Man comes in motion in the backfield. That's going to be Wetjen taking the handoff, and he's going to gain 6.
NC State was kind of prepared for that. They set the edge really well.
Iowa working quickly here via halfback pass, throwing back to the quarterback, and ultimately that play is going to lose 3. Well covered by the Wolfpack.
At this point of the game, you're trying really anything to kind of maybe catch the defense off guard, using using a double pass space, a pitch to a throwback. Don't hate the play call by any means, but NC State has just been when pretty much this whole game is when Coach JT's tried to confuse the defense a little bit, they haven't been able to, and pretty much the game's on the line for Iowa here, 4th and 7.
Just buying time, rolling to his left, and he is going to be sacked. Turnover on downs. Wolfpack will take over. 3:16 left.
Potentially a little bit of input lag there. You see Coach JT a little bit frustrated. Thought he maybe had pushed the button to throw the ball, and it maybe didn't register in time. But nonetheless, here come the Wolfpack with 3 minutes to go.
Handoff is to Allen. Well defense there. He's going to lose a yard. But the clock will tick.
The clock's going to tick here. And the problem for Coach JT especially, you take the, trying to be down, trying to come back from 2 scores. But the problem is like the game management with this timeouts is a really tricky one, right? Do you burn all your timeouts real quick? Do you try to save them in case you can score quick and get it back? It's just it's a difficult position to be in.
Yeah, there's right ways to do it and wrong ways to do it, and you never know which is which. So Allen's going to run off to the left side there and lose a couple of yards. Hawkeye defense really swarming. And NC State just content to bleed some clock here, it looks like.
Third 13 here. You'd expect if you run the ball, Iowa would call a timeout potentially. But looks like, could we dare see a pass here, Lou?
Yeah, Grandes is dropping back. He's going to roll to his right. Iowa defender dives and misses him. But Nwapa is there on the back end to knock down the pass.
And a free timeout for Iowa. So, looking at it, he probably should have got the sack there, but somehow the Iowa defender didn't make the play, and they're gonna get the football back here.
Hunt sails into the end zone. So under 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say if Iowa, realistically, you have all 3 timeouts. If by chance you can score this touchdown here without having to use any of those timeouts, you're still in a pretty decent position. So we'll see how the clock management and the timeout management is used here as the game kind of concludes.
So with 5 wide receivers, Levis is going to roll to his left, has to take it on his feet. He has plenty of yards. He's going to get up to midfield before he runs out of bounds.
Coverage has been pretty solid. It's it's either zone where the timings had to be perfect, or it's man and it's locked up, and Levis is just having to scramble to try to just keep this Iowa team alive. And they're already at midfield. They got out of bounds. Smart decision. Let's keep the drive moving.
Give Iowa credit. Levis runs really well in panic mode. He's going to take off again. No. Has a man downfield. That's Williams, and Williams is going to score.
Holy.
Levis set that up really well with his feet. Yeah.
Yeah, steps up in the pocket, waited for, they're playing some zone defense, waiting for the over route to finally get even with the defender. Great pass by Levis. Folks, for how crazy this game's been and how, on the ropes Iowa has seemed at times, it's a minute and a half to go. And you know what? Honestly, do you dare kick? I say, it was a tough decision. Looks like the onside kick is coming out.
Yeah, Iowa is going for the onside kick. Wolfpack recovers. Not sure who that was.
Say there's got about 25 neck roll guys down there, so we'll have to maybe check the replay and see who exactly that was. But either way,
Harper.
Either way, folks, it is, pretty much these next 3, maybe 4 downs will decide the ball game.
Field goal should ice it. Huevos Grandes from the shotgun here. Looks like he will pass. Has Carter. Going to get it inside the 25, maybe to the 23. Well, in field goal range now.
Yeah. Very aggressive play call. Hey, like we talked about, Coach JT's trying to get, the NC State Wolfpack on their toes with some different types of plays. I mean, coming out throwing the ball up 7 with a minute and a half to go, that's a bold choice. But, I mean, hey, it's a result-oriented business, and Coach 49ers got 1st and 10.
Well, we did mention some recruits. I'm not sure what the stats are. Maybe we're trying to hit some goals here. Hand off is to Allen, and he's going to have plenty of room. He's going to get in for a touchdown.
Power play opens up like a tin can, folks. That's when you run power correctly. You got an athletic running back who can bounce it and get to the edge. It is a tough thing to stop. And back to a 2-score lead.
So again, we're kind of back to the point where we just were 40 seconds ago. if Iowa can score with no time and without using their timeouts,
right? I'd almost, at this point, I'll let you take the kick return.
Yeah, Wetchen wiggles his way up the middle. He's going to be stopped just short of the 20, it looks like.
I mean, the thing is, if you're Iowa, right, you're in the same position, but at the same time, I'd almost think, do you dare, if somehow you score, if and when you score again, if you can keep your 3 timeouts, do you dare kick it deep and try to pin them and try to get the ball back? Or are you going to try the onside kick? But it's tough.
Yeah, nice pass to Williams. First down. I was going to hustle right back to the line.
Absolutely. They're going to be in hyperspeed the rest of the time if the ball, if anybody's tackled in bounds.
Levis rolling to his left. Throws, and the receivers get mixed up. It looks like they crossed. Maybe bumped into each other. I guess
You
if you
hate
have
to
two
see
wide
that.
open men in the same spot, you have none.
Right. Now, potentially, that
back.
could have been 2 lead blockers going down the sideline as well, but you got to give your guys a chance, and it's unfortunate.
Minute remaining. Levis under pressure. He is going to be sacked, and that'll bring up 3rd and 20.
No timeout called by the Hawkeyes. Maybe not even an injury, I don't believe, because the timeout didn't get taken away. I don't even remember if they do that in this game, but 3rd and 20 here. Let's see what the Hawkeyes can do.
Levis rolls to his right, throwing back across to the left. Harper is there to knock it down. Nearly intercepted.
That 6'4" frame, Chad, at corner, also, unfortunately, has 96 speed. So he can cover a lot of ground in a hurry with that 6'4" frame. Trust me. It hurt when I conceded the recruiting battle to 49er George.
Yeah, you'll see that
Harper.
big 69 in the neck roll in your nightmares for years to come.
What a catch in traffic. Unbelievable.
Padilla hucking it up.
You know, sometimes you just don't question how. It just, you just take it in and say, okay, well, shoot. Player made a play. Can't really say much else.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to use a timeout here, maybe just to give Padilla a chance to warm up his gun, or a chance to let Rucker pad his sack stats for the game.
School record, 4 sacks in the game for the left defensive end. My goodness.
So 14 seconds remaining. Padilla throwing up the left side, has his man. It's going to be caught inside the 20-yard line. 1st and 10. 9 seconds remaining. Iowa trying to get points here before the end of this ball game.
You have to score this play. If you're Iowa, you have to score this play.
Padilla takes his time, and the ball is batted away. 4 seconds remaining. That math gets pretty tight in here now. I think you were right.
Pretty much. You'd have to get almost an instant release up the field. Maybe. I mean, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion here, but there's an outside chance if it's a full-on sprint. Could you get it in 3 seconds? We'll have to see.
Padilla throws. It's going to be batted down again. 1 second remaining. So 3rd down and 10 from the 19. Should be our final play of the ball game. Iowa using their final timeout, making sure everybody is super fresh for this last play. And lead us back in the game. Passing time, buying more with his feet. Plenty of wiggle, and Girthy is going to get him down for the sack. And that's all she
What a
wrote.
battle, folks.
Yeah. Well fought game by both sides. NC State takes the win, 49-35. Take a quick peek at the stats here, and we'll get Coach 49er George in here when he's ready.
Hey guys, I'm here. I'm ready. First of all, great game, JT. This wasn't as fun as our last year's game. But yeah, go ahead, shoot, guys. Great call, by the way. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. You know, what were your points or points of your game plan coming in? What were you trying to establish? What worked well? What did you have to go away from to get this W?
I mean, we had to run the football and not turn the ball over. That turnover where they forced the strip on my quarterback, where I was running around, because coverage was starting to really tighten up by the defense. Shout out to the defensive game plan, because I had things going for a while, but then right towards the middle of the game, it started to really slow down for us offensively, and maybe one or two plays kind of ticked it back into our favor. But that strip sack, pretty much let him. I think the game was maybe tied up, or maybe he brought it within 7. It always felt like I should pull ahead by 21, and I was never able to. And so
Hmm.
that's why this thing was a war to the end. Shout out to JT for being a warrior.
My last question before I kick it over to Coach Brusso. Did you meet all your recruiting goals? Get all those guys in? I know you had a
Not
bunch
even
on
close.
visits.
Not even close. I had the number 3 tight end in the nation come in, and I got nowhere near 100 yards passing to the tight end. So nope. Shout out to you, JT. I don't think I got anywhere near. Well, I got 250 yards passing, so I guess I got that one, and then I think I got 100 yards rushing, so maybe I got that one. We'll have to check on the offensive lineman. I had 2 good guards coming in. JT and I are competing for one of them. He's an 85% lock right now, so we'll see where that goes. He's probably gonna get a later visit. That might stuck me. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I got my goals done. I was supposed to have some deflections and some sacks with linebackers, and that didn't happen at all. Their quarterback was really, really wiggly.
Yeah, it sure was. Well, uh, thanks, Coach
Thanks, Lou.
Brusso. Hmm.
Coach, how are we?
It feels good to win. Last week it was a terrible loss to Michigan, and it feels good to get this one on the right side of things. And it feels really good to be able to beat JT because I mean he plays the kind of game where you could get crushed by him if he gets it rolling. I was scared by a lot of things that he might do, and just thankfully we got off to a good start, kept it going.
Absolutely. And I think the one thing that I saw from your game plan, and you don't have to get too far into it, but I saw a lot of using Allen in space, a lot of getting to the perimeter, for putting some pressure out on the Iowa linebackers and edge defenders. Any specific rhyme or reason? Maybe that was your thought going in, or is that just kind of how the flow of the game took place?
That's the archetype that Allen is. He's a speed back, so he's going to flourish using his speed and agility to the outside. And then we got some blockers that I think that we believe in and that we want to have in the ball game. The more that Leary throws, the more that bad things could happen with the forward pass. I know you're aware. I'm sure you got pages of copious notes on that. Seeing me do that before. So yeah.
No, I mean, I think from an overall standpoint, like you said, you took care of the football, the one fumble. You don't like to see it, but sometimes the game's just gonna pretty much make one of those things situations take place. But kind of running the rivalry here. Saw James Harper make some plays there. The old 6'4", 96 speed corner that you and I both were going after for a while. Talk about how he's played so far for you, and how much am I going to hate playing you for the next 4 years with him?
Just gotta say thanks. We owe you a solid for James Harper. I know you got a program changer too, but defensively he could play corner or safety for us. 6'4" frame, can make outrageous catches. Had one ridiculous catch that I'm still have to watch in a few replays. I think JT was shaking his head on that play too. He doesn't know how that one happened either. Um, but the game had a whole bunch of crazy shit going on, like the penalties that were like against the offense and then against the defense. Like I don't really understand the penalties exactly. There was one that I thought I was declining, and I guess it was called on me, so then maybe he declined. I don't really know, but yeah, James Harper, absolute stud. Could play wide receiver, but we need him on defense, and he's providing something for us right now.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's all I got for you
Thanks,
today,
Coach.
Coach. Enjoy the win, and we'll see you next go around.
Good luck to you and JT the rest of the way. Thank you.
All right, let's get Coach JT in here.
What's going on?
Hey, exciting game, Coach. Your Hawkeyes continue to surprise me. What did you
Lou,
learn
take a
from
pause. Lou,
today?
take a pause and look at chat. Chris the
Wow,
Key.
Chris the Key, welcome in.
Holy moly. 48 people. We have greatly appreciate that.
There is no way I can match Chris the Key's energy.
Absolutely not. Holy smokes.
All right.
Boy, are you guys in for a disappointment. Oh, welcome in all the same.
Oh, what was your question, Lou? My bad. I had to point that
I
out.
don't know. I just was going to listen to you pout about something.
Yeah, I can
What
start the pout if you want me to. No, I'm just kidding.
no, what worked well for your offense today, or what did you learn from today, or expectations versus reality?
Yeah, we just
Something.
yeah.
Expand.
Yeah, we wanted to run the triple option going into the year. It works really well against the CPU, but against users it does not work. So we had to switch it up, and we're just trying to get our playmakers into space. And so, I mean, whether it be a running back taking snaps at quarterback to run the ball or to throw it, I mean, Niall Kinnick went 1 for 1 today with the 12-yard reception. So just trying to get the playmakers into space and let them go to work.
Yeah, I see. Next on the schedule, you know who you have?
No idea.
You don't
Oh,
look at the
God.
schedule.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, week 5, you host Oregon
Yep.
and Jimmy. So, I guess you haven't planned anything yet. What can we look forward to?
We're going to be locking up Lou and praying that our corners can hang with his 99 speed wide receivers.
All right. Well, I look forward to that. I'll hand you off to Coach Russo. You can talk more X's and O's with you.
Yeah, I mean, Coach JT, I mean, overall, I think, Labus, at times, I saw you kind of scratching your head doing whatever in the passing game because he was either playing tight man coverage or the zone coverage is, you had to time it perfectly to kind of make the throws. But talk about Labus, just kind of keeping the team alive here. When things weren't open, like George said, he had a lot of wiggle, got first downs, got big plays for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's starting over Padilla because he can move. If Padilla had a little bit more speed, he would be on the field. But Labus is out there because he can make plays. Because I mean, frankly, our wide receivers they're good. They're not great. They're not getting the separation. If you guys go back and watch the VOD or the YouTube video when that goes up, our receivers were just not getting separation. So we needed to either break the pocket because we were getting pressured or step up into the pocket and move around and try and get some defenders to bite down on us so that it opened up something in the second level. And that's what he's good at doing. And so we're gonna keep rolling with Labus. I mean, we have an 8 quarterback system right now, is what it seems like. So Labus is our true quarterback, though.
No, I definitely feel you on that. Just having that dynamic, just enough to keep people honest, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. If people just start sending zero coverage and pressuring you the whole time, if you can, like you did, get loose a few times, that can kind of hold people back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the sacks at times, he's just trying to make plays and just running out of gas at times. But one thing I also thought about, man, you fought hard, your team played well. I think the real X factor in this dealio for your team was your special teams play. Talk about that, short fields, especially trying to play catch up. That's gotta at least give you some promise going forward. That if you can kind of get the breaks to go your way at times, you're gonna pull more of these out than you think.
Yeah, I mean, we just look at the history of the league. I think I have I think I have four of four Jet Award winners in the league history. So I don't know why people still kick it to me. I don't know why people are still kicking it to me. So I honestly I put a certain set of guys out there and I just let them go to work and it's working for me. So that's how we're gonna live and die this season is special teams. We'll see going forward if Wet Jen gets the ball at all.
I mean, it special teams is the equalizer in games like this, man. I definitely agree with you on that. I mean, that's really all I have tonight. I mean, hey, you're kind of how I was for year one with your squad, right? You get a little bit worse team than I had to start off with, but you can definitely see the wheels turning. You know, you're a good coach. You're going to put your guys in the best position to be successful, even if the talent doesn't match necessarily, the results at times. But hey, keep fighting, and we'll catch you down the road.
Appreciate it. Good game, George, and thanks for bringing that guard in on a visit. I got to talk to him after the game, and we already set up a Week 10 visit. So he'll be in Kinnick soon.
Yeah, all right. Trash talk continues between these two coaches. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Come back tomorrow night. We've got a doubleheader, 2 user games. I think we've got Baylor and Tennessee, and then we've got Oregon and LSU. So should be a wild one. Appreciate the raid, CTK, and all of your community.
Appreciate that raid. Y'all have a good one. We'll check you out on the next NWO.